Hey everyone, Christine here from Serendipity as always on Etsy. I thought I would make a short video showing the first few rows of the Cowl Neck Poncho because I have pictures in the pattern right now, but I figured a little video would be a little bit easier for people to follow along and understand the stitch that's involved. So I have my hook here and I also have a ball of yarn. This is the loops and thread from Michaels. You can use any worsted weight yarn that's similar to this, and I will show you how to make that. So let's get started, and I hope this helps. Okay, so what you're going to need to do is make your slip knot. And then you're going to need to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you're going to double crochet into the first chain you made. Now you have your first V-stitch. That's your first row. Your first row is done. So you're going to turn your work, turn it, and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this chain 5 counts as your double crochet, which is 3, 1, 2, 3, and a chain 2. So that's the first part of the V-stitch, and then you're going to double crochet in the same stitch that that chain is coming out of. So you finished your V-stitch. That's your second V-stitch of the second row. I mean your first V-stitch of the second row, excuse me. And then you're going to create one more V-stitch for your second row. So you're going to skip 2 chains, 1, 2, and work into this third one. So double crochet in the chain, then chain 2, and then double crochet into that chain again. So we got 1 V-stitch in our first row, 2 V-stitches in our second row. Now we're going to turn our work again. Starting the third row, we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, that counts as your double crochet in a chain 2, so we're going to put our last part of our V-stitch in the same stitch that this chain is coming out of. So double crochet in that same stitch. So we got our first V-stitch of our third row. Now we're going to work in between V-stitches. So you have a V-stitch here and you have a V-stitch here. We're going to work here in the space in between. So you're going to put a V-stitch there, double crochet in there, and then chain 2, and then double crochet in that same space again. So we got 2 V-stitches in our second row. Now we need one more, so count your chains. You got 1, 2, and then 3. This is where you put it. Double crochet, and then chain 2, and then double crochet again. So 1 V-stitch in our first row, 2 V-stitches in our second row, 3 V-stitches in our third row. Let's do one more row. We'll turn and then we'll chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's a double crochet and a chain 2, So we're going to double crochet in that same stitch that the chain is coming out of. Like that. That's our first V-stitch. Then you have a V-stitch here and a V-stitch here, so you're going to work in the space in between them. Double crochet, chain 2, and then double crochet again. Then you have a V-stitch here and a V-stitch here, so we're going to work in the space in between them. Double crochet in there, chain 2, double crochet. So we got 1, 2, 3 so far. We need one more, 4. So you're going to count 1, 2, 3, because this is your chain 2, and then you put it in the third one. So double crochet, chain 2, and then double crochet again. So you have 1 V-stitch in your first row, 2 V-stitches in your second row, 3 V-stitches in your third row, and 1, 2, 3, 4 V-stitches in your fourth row. And you're going to keep on going, and each row increases by 1 V-stitch. So that is how you begin working your cowl neck poncho. Just like that.